Guys, we're doing another video this time for which clans will not top BRO. This time it's for V Premium. Last time I did it for Premium. I have to say, it was pretty easy to do it for Premium because even though the format is so wide, there are a lot of clans that aren't very good still. So it worked out pretty well, right? It worked out pretty well. But this time we're going to V Premium. Much more established format right now. So we have to up the stakes, right? We have to up the stakes. I'm gonna up it. We're gonna double the amount of clans that will not top. Now you might think, okay, that's not great. It's like 12 clans not topping. There's only 24. Well, there's actually more than 24 clans in Vanguard. There's also Bang Dream, but I think that's just such a free space that we're not even gonna bother, right? We're gonna talk about the real clans, right? Yeah, we're gonna double it to 12 clans that will not top V Premium, and I know, yeah, we've seen some results. You know, we've seen some results for V Premium, especially from Japan. I have to say, right? I have to say, there is actually a difference in format or in player like mentality, and also how like tournament structure in like when you compare Japan and the West, right? Although like Japan is playing a bunch of strong like high rolly decks, can they survive 8 rounds of Swiss, right? 7-8 rounds of Swiss, a cut to a top 8 or a 16? I don't know, right? So I'm gonna take the risk and start putting clans up, and maybe you guys can prove me wrong, right? There's still registration is on for V Premium still until like at least next week. So if you look at this video and you're like, man, you have no idea, I'm gonna ruin your reality, dude. I'm gonna top with a clan that will not top. Just do it, man. Just do it. Show me your moves, right? Show me your moves. Final destination. Let's go, right? Yeah, let's get started. With this one, I'm not gonna limit myself to nations, right? One from each nation. I did that for Premium, but this time it's gonna be a bit tough, right? It's gonna be a bit tough. If I say like two from each nation can top, I'm gonna get killed when it comes to like Megalonica. So I have to pick between Aqua Force, Bermuda, and Grand Blue. So I'm just gonna pick 12. There's some very easy ones that I can just pick right off the back. Mega Colony, it's not gonna top, right? It's getting some love in Premium, right? And when I mean love, right, people are actually looking at it and going, yeah, there's something we can do here, but in V, not much is going on. Pretty much empty space right there. The clan doesn't know what it's doing. The support doesn't know what it's doing. It's not gonna top, right? 3 regions, 8 spots each, maybe 16. I don't know how they're gonna do it, but it's not gonna get in any single one. It's not gonna happen. All right, Neo Nectar as well. It has some good support. Well, not some good support, some cool support, right? Musketeers. I'm a big fan of Musketeers. Cecilia. It's nice, but it's not gonna top, right? It's not gonna top. It's a 3 attacker clan. Apart from when you run the Maiden engine, but Maiden is just not good enough, right? Stand Peony, not good enough, you know, not good enough. So yeah, this ain't topping, man. This ain't topping. Another one. Let's kind of jump over to let's just say Nova Grapplers, right? Nova Grappler. It's got some funky support. Riser's pretty cool. It can do some restanding, and sometimes gets scary, but it's very clunky, right? It's very clunky. I think the current build you're running Cat Butlers. It's not that crazy. Blouse, yeah, blouse are cool, but you know, versus a lot of things. Personally, I think Excel is not in a great place right now. It's a Force format, or a Hamiel format, right? And Excels don't really. It just doesn't feel like they're at that level. You know, they're at that level. And before you say golds, like Spectral is an Excel deck, no, it's not, dude. No, it's not. It's not. So yeah, Novas, I don't think it's really doing anything at all. And just the people behind it, right? The big players, I don't really see them really touching Novas, right? So that's how it is, right? That's how it is. Aqua Force, no Pursuit Assault, no life. That's pretty much it. That's my opinion. Like, there might be some crazy people out there running Maelstrom, right? I know the West has these crazy people. And Maelstrom did show some like roguey results a couple of years back, but this time, I don't think so. I think the format, very similar to the BSFO format, where the power decks are quite powerful, and they can really only be dealt with or contended with like just the tier 2 decks. I feel like Maelstrom, something like that, is like a tier 3 deck. it's probably not happening. It's probably not happening. Nubatama, Daihozan, right? Daihozan doesn't really add much to the clan in my opinion. Doesn't really solve its problems. Its old cards are still a bunch of junk. You've got Hanzo that doesn't really do anything. So yeah, I think Nubatama is a pretty safe pick and not topping. So that just goes there. There are definitely some clans here as well. I'm just gonna point them out. That is, I'm definitely not gonna put on this list, right? And that is like Bermuda Triangle. So many good archetypes for Bermuda Triangle. And Angel Feather, right? I'm not gonna mess with Hamiel, right? Hamiel does its job, right? So it's staying. These two are definitely staying here. One other one. We have to kind of start moving into weirdo territory, right? Weirdo territory where life gets high. I think Spike Brothers is a pretty easy pick, right? Again, not much technology going on there. Not much new tech. The new support hasn't been amazing. Its base as well in V is very outdated, I think. So I think this is probably not a topping clan, right? It's not a topping clan. Again, right? You guys, when you see this, you see these clans that I'm putting here. If you want to prove me wrong, you got a week to do it, right? You got a week to do it. Oracle Think Tank. 3 attacker clan has a high possibility of double critting, but you don't double crit every game, right? You don't double crit every game. If you're running like Battle Sisters, it's you have a good early game. That's about it. That's about it. If you're running Tsukuyomi, you still have the same issues, right? I don't see you surviving very, very long. So yeah, this is probably not topping. It is probably not topping. Let's kind of go through everything here. Great Nature. All right, Great. I think there's 3 builds for Great Nature actually. There's Hamsuke. There is Isabel, right? I think Isabel is the strongest one out of the lot, by the way. And there is Big Belly. I don't really think Big Belly is that good. I think Isabel's the best, and then Hamsuke also is pretty decent. But they're not topping material. They're not topping material. Sure, like Isabel gets, you know, you can get a lot of big power of Isabel at the cost of like many multi-attacks, right? It doesn't multi-attack as much as other Excel clans. But other like Force decks are kind of doing the same amount of attacks with a similar amount of power, as well as gaining a lot of stuff, and doesn't need to be as clunky as you. So I think Great Nature is definitely probably not gonna top. And if you look at that, right, all the Zoo clans suddenly become really, really bad, like just not doing anything. Actually, you know, just yeah, V Premium. Maybe they need to be a part of Stoicheia, dude. They need to be a part of Stoicheia, but V Premium doesn't have Stoicheia, so that's that. That's that. Another clan that will not top A. I think we're starting to edge into like the tier 2 territory. I want to say Link Joker will not top. All right, Link Joker will not top. You beat a lot of good. No, you don't beat a lot of good players. You beat a lot of bad players. You have some good matchups against some specific matchups. Messiah has actually topped some tournaments in Japan, which is kind of scary. But personally, I think it's not very good. Like both builds of Link Joker. Messiah is like cool when it goes off, right? If you get that first turn Volco, if you top, like if you reveal a grade 3 from burst mode, yeah, you win games, but you know, versus anything else when none of those happen, your game sucks. Your game is really, really bad. Also, like Starvaders, I mean, you can beat people who haven't really played the matchup with it, but I think you do have a lot of bad matchups. Even some like lower tier decks can kind of beat you. So yeah, I'm not a fan of Link Joker. I think Link Joker is not a topping clan at all. Royal Paladin, right? Royal Paladin. This doesn't, like, one thing with Royal Paladin is that it's playing like a 2020 core in 2021. Of course, there hasn't been that many releases of cards, right? But it feels like Royal Paladin is a bit outdated in V. And sure, it got the new Thing Saver, but it's just, they just made it slower. They just made it slower. You can't like re-ride. Well, you can't ride during a turn. Just to get another force marker and still pop off Thing Saver skill also means it doesn't pop off the turn you ride it, so you can't really combine it with anything else apart from like Ashley. So yeah, I feel like it's a bit outdated, although like you have like gimmicks like MLB being 18k base. But yeah, apart from that, like you can probably beat a bunch of your lower tier decks, but against the higher tier decks, I don't think you're really beating them. I don't think you're beating them. How much is this now? We got 10 clans, so I need to put 2 more in. 2 more in. Murakumo. I think there's not many good builds of Murakumo. We've got Yasue, which is probably the best build, and Shiryuki. Yasue is not stable. That's the biggest problem, right? You run so many grade 3s. And you're not Astral Poets, right? You're not Astral Poets, so you don't have that like one-shot potential. You have a lot of multi-attacks, but there's also Heal Guardians now. Overall, I think like Murakumo's just not in a good place. Definitely not in a top 8 place or a top cut place. Yeah. And then lastly, I have one more to pick. But I'm getting to the problem where a lot of these clans seem pretty decent. Alright, but I think I know which one it is. It's either between Dark Irregulars, Pale Moon, or Tachikaze. This is actually pretty dangerous, personally speaking. Alright. Personally speaking, this is pretty dangerous. Let's kind of go through the other stuff and talk about why they're not on this. So I don't need to talk about Angel Feather or Bermuda Triangle. Shadow Paladin, right? Luard is still a pretty popular pick. It's also got some good matchups against a lot of these other clans, especially like the Prism matchup, which is pretty popular in the West compared to the East. So yeah, Shadow Paladin has a decent chance of topping, right? I'm gonna move these away. Narukami, we have the book build of Narukami full Bronto. I don't really think it will top, but I think it has a better chance than these 3. Right, especially I feel like a lot of people do play Narukami in the West. Kagero still has that one-shot potential. It's like mini Angel Feather. Gold Paladin, we recently had a huge showing of Spectrals. Core is also quite popular in the West, so I think Gold has a good chance. Genesis, you know, Astral Poets is still floating around. We still also have a lot of like Himiko builds, Regalia builds. Anything there is also quite strong. Gear Chronicle, I think it's at one of the top tier 2 decks. Just under tier 1, it can scale pretty well, do a lot of good things, but it's just got some more fail points compared to everything else. Grand Blue, you never underestimate Grand Blue, boys. You never underestimate it. I think its game plan is so simple, and it's still kind of chunky in defensive power, even though like since the format hasn't really changed as much. And Grand Blue won last time, like, I think AO, right? And topped a few times there, like in other regions, I think. So I think Grand Blue definitely has a good chance of topping. And also Dimension Police. Dimension Police, I think, also does, right? I think its support is actually decent in V if you just put it at like a solo V setting when you compare to these 3. Right, now let's talk about why is these 3. I think Tachi is okay. Right, you've got Spino now, you've got the multi-attacks, you lose to like heal trigger, not heal trigger, you lose to triggers in general, but over you have a lot of multi-attack, so this is why I'm kind of scary putting it up. Pale Moon, you have Nightmare Dolls, right? You also have Harry, you have Harry hybrids, you got like the bunny as well, so I think there's some possibility there in V where it can top. And then lastly is Dark Irregulars. Dark Irregulars, you have just Shahara like high rolling, right? It's a hard choice. I'm tempted to put either Pale Moon or Tachikaze. Right, Pale Moon or Tachikaze. But I think I'm gonna put Tachi. Right? I think the popularity of Tachi is less than Pale Moon, so there's just gonna be less players. So just through like just through sheer numbers, and the fact that the fail point for Tachikaze is them getting something like a trigger. Yeah, I think that's the one. I think that's the one. With Pale Moon, there's still a couple of builds out there that is kind of scary. But with Tachi, well, it's not like Tachi doesn't have any scary builds, but yeah, there's just not as many players. So I think this is 12, right? So 1, 2, 4, 8, 12 clans. These are the 12 clans I think will not top. I mean, I'm playing it so safe. Look at all these different clans here. Right, look at all these different clans. They all have a chance of topping. If you want to prove me wrong, again, V Premium signups are right now. Go join it with one of these 12 clans and try and top. And if you top, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna feel sad. No, why would I feel sad? I'll feel happy for you, right? You can win it, and just like last time, we'll have an interview, and you can say, you're wrong, Kai. Right, you're wrong. Let me know what you guys think. Do you agree with these clans will not top? I'll see you guys in the next video. All right, bye.